Hi, y'all. Okay, what is this? What are we at? Number 5 of these things? Okay. These feel good to do. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, there's so many little things that have been on my mind to talk about, like, to, people outside of my life, I guess, that I've already heard, kind of everything there is to hear along the way. So here we go. This is the 5th mini episode, whatever. Listen, I have had a lot of coffee today and I'm about to have more. And listen, for anyone who's like, oh, you have a problem, show me any evidence that that's true. Any. See, that was a visual gag. Some of these are visual. So if you're listening, go to the YouTube and watch the visual of that dumb joke. Okay. I have a nerd out mini episode this time because one of the most fun aspects of being back in school is stationery stuff. I just pulled up a dildo. No, this is a pen case. And it's made by Orom, O-R-O-M, and it's leather. It wasn't expensive, fortunately. And in it are some treats. So this is a new thing that I've discovered. And it's probably been around for a long time. And good thing my camera doesn't zoom or focus. So these are mild liners. They're highlighters but mild, which is sort of like having a half dead highlighter, which that's how where these start, but they last longer than a half dead highlighter. So anyway, I don't like super bright, like really really neon. I don't know why they ever were that bright, but these are like halfway there. And they're made by Zebra, I think. Right? I don't know. Just look up mild liner highlighters. They're amazing. I have them in like a bunch of different colors. Some of my classes are, they insist that I got them in like a 6-pack or something like that. So some of my classes insist that we have paperback books because it lets us get away from distractions on a screen, so on and so forth. And then we're all quite literally on the same page because a lot of people get their books through whatever online sites, whether legit or not legit. And then there's different like PDF paging, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you're like, oh, I'm reading this section of, what do you call it? Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, if that's how it's pronounced. Nicomachean. I'm on page 87. And then for us, I'm like, that's page 33. What edition, because there's a million, because that book was written 1 million years ago. So I'm all for it. I think there are just constantly people sitting with their laptops and iPads open, just like looking at anything that's not what's going on in class. And for classes that are this high level and this like, technically expensive, I want the best discussion possible. I want people paying attention, and so I can see where the professors are coming from. But anyway, so this is I got this case before, this pencil. It's like a leather pencil case or pen pouch or whatever you want to call it, and I didn't realize how big it was going to be. So that's like, that one sits at home, and then this one is so this one I got at Goods for the Study, which is I think owned technically by McNally Jackson Books, but it's like the world's best stationery store. They have everything. There's 2 of them in New York City, and you can get stuff online, but it's a good place to find brands that like they carry, and then you could, probably find them at a local store near you. So let's look at, this pen case, this leather one here, I got on Etsy, and it's from a legit seller. It's not one of those like rehab or just someone got something on Amazon and then just started reselling it on Etsy, which I guess happens a lot nowadays. I don't really order a ton of Etsy stuff, but so it's awesome. It's made by some local artisan in New York. That was just a coincidence. I wasn't looking for someone local, but they make great pouches. I got mine, I think, also on sale. Maybe it was a little more on sale than that, but $30 for a handmade thing. You're supporting a real small business. Love it. It's well made, and then you can get like your initials on that little leather thing there. So I had them just sort of stamp some leather. And love it. And what does this one have in it? Let's look. Let's find out together. Can you hear the coffee in my voice? I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour. So look, I found there's a stationery store up near Columbia called something, and they have a lot of cool stuff. And two of my favorite pencils that I've ever gotten. And why would I have pencils, you ask? Because in Arabic class we were not allowed to use pens. I mean, technically you can. Some people were doing homework on their like iPads and stuff, but using pencils is better because of the 1 trillion mistakes that you make when you're learning to write Arabic. And boy, that's a low number for me. Trillion, low number. This one is by a brand called Tombow, and it's the mono something pen. And this was this like neon color that I don't know how to get this stupid fucking thing to focus. You know, this camera used to focus better than this. And now, what if I flip it off? That works. So anyway, what's cool about these pencils is, so they're 0.5 lead. That's the only not cool thing about it. They don't make a 0.7, which is so bizarre to me. But what's cool about them is you shake and then the lead comes out. See, and then they also have the clicker is here on the side, and hold on, there. Clicker's on the side, but you also can just shake as you're writing, and the eraser you just sort of like twist out. You can tell I'm not like a product review person because I don't have like a dedicated camera that zooms in on this stuff, but part of the fun is you go look it up and you can see them online. So Tombow, I think they're a Japanese company. You can't really find a lot of the pencils here. Now, that pencil was good, but the lead broke a lot, which is really common. So the same place, this guy was like, listen, this sounds like total like classic salesman stuff, but it wasn't. He goes, look, I usually tell people who are like drafting architecture stuff about this pen because it's a little pricier, but honestly your lead will never break again. And I'm like, that's impossible. And he was like, that's what I said, but I have one and the lead literally never breaks. And he's like, there's something about the mechanism inside, the way it's made by Pentel. It's called the Pentel Orenz, and it's a 0.7 lead, which is what I wanted. And there's something about the construction of this pen, and it's not the most comfortable because the grip is not soft or cushy. It's just sort of like metal. But if it's not literally the best mechanical pencil I've ever had in my life, I tried like leaning on the lead a little harder. Now, obviously, if you press as hard as you can, the lead's going to break. But I pressed maybe 2 or 3 times as hard as I normally would with a pencil, and the lead just doesn't break. As where this one and many other ones were just like, you're just writing normally, or if you start kind of writing fast, just snap, 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 snap. And you're just getting your lead shrapnel in your face. It's a dangerous situation. You're suing Tombow. You're getting all their money. You open your own pencil company. You know, that's the future you're looking at if you're not using this Pentel one. So best pencil I've ever owned. It's no turning back after that. None. So that's that. And then, so I got this pen is, I love the weight of it. So I got it. This is like all last year. I've had all these for like a year. Now this one is made by a company called Baron Fig. Whoa, there, weird. Did I find the sweet spot? So it's basically like, it's a metal pen, and it's got crazy weight to it. And I had to add little pen clip. But this ended up just being like an at-home pen, and it's got this, like, you twist it just sort of like at the bottom. It's like a tiny little side to side, and it has a good like click feel, if that makes sense. This is so stupid. But anyway, the writing is great. It's a roller ball, which is the only way to go if you're not using, like, you know, a fountain pen or whatever. But there's some pens, like if you like pens and pencils and all that stuff, there's some pens, like right when you pick them up, they have this weight to them that feels like you're about to write something important, you know? Even if it's just a word fart, you know, that's like an important one at that point. It's better than all the other farts that you've written. And that's what this pen gives me. And I know it's weird, but sometimes you, like, if you have, you know, writer's block, or you're just not motivated, sometimes picking up a pen that feels that much better and opening up a notebook that feels a little bit nicer gets you the motivation, even just to start writing anything, because it just feels good to do it. So this Baron Fig, this another one I got at Goods for the Study, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's a few more things in here. What else? Oh, so when I started doing Arabic stuff, I wanted to write the lettering and the words just on the side as I was learning them. Because again, what's a way to learn something very like mechanical, that sometimes you just don't feel like doing, find a little like creative edge in it. So I got these Pilot, they're called the Pilot Parallel, and they are calligraphy pens. And you can't see this obviously because this is the dumbest idea I've ever had, but they're like, I think it's a 4.5 width nib, and they're all refillable, like the ink's refillable. Let me take this out here. So I hate this camera. Now I fully hate it forever. So anyway, the ink's refillable, and it is, I think it was like $7, which is, these are great if you want to like start, you know, calligraphy, because like, you know, real calligraphy pens can get costly, but this thing's $7 and the refills are cheap, and you can just learn kind of like do some like wide nib calligraphy stuff. So anyway, once you start getting these pens, then you're like, I need my master pen, the one that like is in charge of all the other pens. It gets them in line and says, shut the fuck up and do what I say. That's this pen. This Lamy, which is a German company, and they make the finest fucking writing instruments. They really do. I mean, there's probably obviously better, more like super fancy ones, but like if you want middle of the road, this is like, you know, the BMW of pens. Obviously you can get your Rolls Royces, your McLarens, all that, but you know, I don't have McLaren pen money. So, these are like really, accessible to your average person. And this one, the nibs are interchangeable. I put a bold on here, and then I have a 1.5 width calligraphy nib, so I can do some like, you know, fancy looking Arabic writing. But the weight, the feel of it, it's all just black from top to bottom. I love it. Lamy makes such good stuff. So I also got this pen sleeve for it. This is leather, but it's like silvery. I got it from Lamy too. Boom, protects the leader of all pens. Now you're saying, well, you have all these, you know, writing instruments. What the fuck are you doing? You know, what are you writing on? And I'm writing on a bunch of different notebooks. There's this one. This is more just notes. It's made by Fabriano. It's an Italian company. 85 gram paper. I've started getting dot lined paper. And why do I keep holding things up? Okay, so I'm getting dot line paper because I can write just regular stuff, notes. I can do like symbolic logic, you know, problems, and I can do Arabic calligraphy lettering from any size. So regular lines out, dude. Dot grid in. Screw you, regular lines. I don't know why I used them for so long. So, and then your classics, man, Moleskin. Look how thin these are. These come in like a pack of 2, and they're about, I don't know, 80 pages a piece. These are kind of similar to what, I'd use for stand-up and stuff. This, normally I hate spiral bound because I'm left-handed, and it's harder to kind of carry around. This brand is called Nemossyne, Japanese company, A5 size, which is like your average Moleskin, and this is grid lined. But dude, the feel of the paper, it's not too slick, it's not too thick, so the pen, the ink kind of like absorbs decently when you're writing, so less smudging. This is awesome, and all those goods for the study. This was recommended. Midori, this company, they do A5 dot grid. This is like some of the like letters and stuff, practice letters. Those are from last year, so they've gotten better. Don't you worry. And this one was cheap. I think it was like $5 or something like that for this notebook, which is good, and the quality's awesome. Midori A5, and it's like one of those like flip from the top notebooks. Here's the downside with notebooks that aren't spiral bound is the pages just start, once you start flipping, once you get like this far in, like you'll open the notebook all the way, and then just the pages start falling out, dude. Like page 1, good luck getting that to stay in there after you're on page 10. That's the one downside. The glue on these is just not where it should be. I've seen some lay flat notebooks, which I don't know how they do the spine work for those, but dude, that technology is great. Oh, I forgot. This was like my, before the other Lamy, the Lamy 2000 or Professional, I had this, and this is a roller ball, but it's just got a cool design, and this one I've had for like 6-7 years. What's cool about it is when you click it, the pen thing tucks in, so it becomes just this smooth, like ridgeless kind of design, and then when you close it, the pen clip comes back out and you put it in your pocket. The grip has just these little like holes. It has a very like industrial look to it. It's light, but it's really well made. Rollerball, a lot of the rollerball refills are the same with Lamy, but this was like my main pen for a long time. Now, before I got back into like notebooks and stuff, I have been, and I still am using this. This is the answer to your traveling and writing problems. This is a Remarkable tablet. That's what it's called. It also is Remarkable, but it is called the Remarkable, and it is they've been around now for a few years. I got this when it first came out, and they are essentially, it's basically a writing tablet that, so it has an eraser, like, so you flip it and you can erase like a regular pen. It sounds like you're writing. I don't know if you can even hear that. Yeah, it's a writing tablet, and it looks like pencil on pen, or pen on pencil on pen, pencil on paper, or pen on paper. There's different nibs. It's the best, and it works essentially like it's like a Kindle and a writing tablet in one. So I have every single book that I've also gotten in print. I have on as PDF, and I have taken them and I have put them all on here. It's the best. The pen has replaceable nibs, and then the back you can get the eraser version, so you just flip it over, erase what you wrote. Comes with it's like a slim tablet, but the cover is a little thicker because this one has a keyboard, which I don't find myself using that often, but so it would be good to have. So anyway, those are there's still like a few other little things that I got, but I mean, I use all this stuff every day and it just feels so good. So like along with writing stand up and like, stories and scripts and things like that, you're using all of these things together to write, essays and, mark up PDFs and study. And it just feels so good. It's like something I didn't think I would get back into because I mostly write on my laptop, and then I use that Remarkable that sort of like replaced handwriting, because I think handwriting, and there have been a lot of studies on this, but handwriting is really good for memory and for creativity. It gives you a different connection to writing that typing simply doesn't. So when I started stand up, I wrote everything in a notebook until, well into like the 20 teens, I think, before I fully went computer. And I noticed it wasn't the same. So now I'm like hybrid and getting fully back into like stationery stuff, which has had this revival in the same way records and other sort of analog things have. So yeah, hit up your local stationery store, man. They're making pens and pencils and notebooks better than they ever have. And a lot of intentionally throwback looking designs, like, old reporter journals and things like that. It's a really fun time to be a complete loser about stationery or winner, depending on how you look at it. So yeah, that was a little sidetrack, but it has made studying and being in the school like fun, and I feel like a kid again in that sense, and I love it. I'll see you next time.